Hi all, Raven Azar here again for another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. Normally I go ahead and do like a deck tech for my boxing league that I'm doing. However, something somewhat exciting has taken place in my life, so I figure I would go ahead and share this with you guys. It's not anything like super crazy, but it was just something special for me. Years ago, back in 2019, I had a friend of mine borrow a deck. This was a Edgar Markov deck. He borrowed it. He switched some cards out from it to make it more to his liking. And he used that for when we did our Commander Nights. Well, I mean, as you guys probably know, COVID took place and we pretty much stopped doing that. With that being said, the deck kind of just got a little lost. And it wasn't until very recently that my friend found the deck and surprisingly was able to return it back to me. Met him at my local game store, and it wasn't planned or anything. We just happened to both be there at the same time, and he happened to have the deck on hand, and it was just such a crazy, pleasant surprise. So what I want to do today is go over the deck with you. It's my Edgar Markov deck with some edits in here from my friend Jeff. So I'm going to go ahead and go over this with you guys, because why not, right? When Edgar Markov spiked in price, I was like, oh man, I hope I see my deck again. Because like I miss this guy and I wanted to see about updating him with the new vampires that came out. So this is amazing. It's pretty awesome, and I'm gonna go over the deck with you guys. So we got Edgar Markov. He's 3 colors, red, white, and black to play. Legendary creature, Vampire Knight, 4/4 with Eminence. Whenever its Eminence says that whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. That's pretty good. He's got first strike and haste. And whenever Edgar Markov attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. So let's go ahead and go over the Edgar Markov deck. First off, we've got Indulgent Aristocrat for a black vampire 1/1 with lifelink. Pay 2, sacrifice a creature, and put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. In this deck, this guy is really good. Yeah, see, 2019. This was a big deal back then. Knight of the Ebon Legion for a black creature, Vampire Knight 1/2. He's got an activated ability, pay 2 colors and a black, and he gets a +3/+3 till Death Touch till end of turn. And at the beginning of your end step, player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Nice. We got Viscera Seer for a black 1/1. Says you can sacrifice a creature to scry 1. Nice. Running Blood Artist for a colorless and a black, another vampire, 0/1. Says that whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I mean, Edgar's been around for long enough for everyone kind of know what you want to do with him. The more vampire spells you're able to cast, he's just going to swamp the board with a bunch of vampires. So we got a Cordial Vampire here for a double black, 1/1. It says whenever a Cordial Vampire or another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. That's really good in this deck. We have a Cruel Celebrant for a white and a black, another vampire, 1/2. Says that whenever Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1. Here's something that I know I did not put in the deck. He did when he wanted to play. But he gave it to me when he returned the deck back to me, and I thought that this was really cool. It's a Dark Confidant for a colorless and a black. He's a human wizard. 2/1. He says, at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. Really good. We have a Legion Lieutenant for a white and a black. 2/2. Says other vampires you control get +1/+1. We have Oathsworn Vampire for a colorless and a black. It's 2/2. Enters the battlefield tapped. You may cast Oathsworn Vampire from your graveyard if you gain life this turn. Very good in this deck. Got the Blood Flow Connoisseur for 2 colors and a black. 1/1. Says you can sacrifice a creature to put a +1/+1 counter on Blood Flow Connoisseur. We got our Captivating Vampire here for a colorless and double black. 2/2. It says other vampire creatures you control get +1/+1. Tap 5 untapped vampires you control. Gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Running Drana, Liberator of Malakir for a colorless and double black. 2/3. It's got flying and first strike. And whenever Drana deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. Very good. We got a Mavrin Vane Dusk Apostle for 2 colors and a white. 2/2. Whenever 1 or more non-token vampires you control attack, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. Very good in the deck. Running Mentor of the Meek for 2 colors and a white. 2/2. Human Soldier. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1, and if you do, draw a card. This is good in the deck. Running Olivia, Mobilized for War for a colorless, a black, and a red. 3/3 with flying. It says that whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may discard a card. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on that card. And it gains haste until end of turn. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Running Rakish Air for 2 colors and a red. 2/2. Says whenever vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Very good. Got the Stormkirk Captain here for a colorless black and a red. 2/2. First strike. Other vampire creatures you control get +1/+1 and have first strike. Very good. Got Vampire Nighthawk for colorless and double black. 2/3 with flying, death touch, and lifelink. Got Yahenni, Undying Partisan for 2 colors and a black. 2/2. It's got haste, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Yahenni. You may sacrifice another creature, and Yahenni gets indestructible to end of turn. Very good. Running the Bloodline Keeper for 2 colors and double black. It's a 3/3 with flying. Tap it to put a black vampire creature token with flying on the battlefield, or you can pay black to transform Bloodline Keeper. Activate this ability only if you control 5 or more vampires. If you decide to transform this guy, comes Lord of Lineage. The 5/5 flying. Other vampire creatures you control get +2/+2. You can tap them and put a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying on the battlefield. Very good. Very good in this deck. Running a Blood Tracker for 3 colors and a black. 2/2 with flying. Pay a black, pay 2 life, and put a +1/+1 counter on Blood Tracker. When Blood Tracker leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. Very good. Alenda, the Dust Rose, for 2 colors, a white and a black, 1/1 with lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on her. And then when Alenda dies, you create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is Alenda's power. We have the Falkenrath Aristocrat for 2 colors and black and red, 4/1 flying and haste. It says you can sacrifice a creature, and then Falkenrath Aristocrat gains indestructible until end of turn. If the sacrificed creature was human, put a +1/+1 counter on Falkenrath Aristocrat. We have Olivia Voldaren for 2 colors, red, black, 3/3 flying. Says that you pay 1 in a red. Olivia deals 1 damage to another target creature. That creature becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. And you put a +1/+1 counter on Olivia Voldaren. You can also pay 3 colors and double black to gain control of target vampire for as long as you control Olivia Voldaren. Very good. We have the Sanctum Seeker for 2 colors and double black. 3/4. Whatever a vampire you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This is very good in this deck. We have Anwin, the Ruin Sage. He's got 3 colors and double black to play, 4/3. The beginning of your upkeep, each player sacrifices a non-vampire creature. Very good. We run Bishop of Rebirth for 3 colors and double white, 3/4 with Vigilance. Whenever Bishop of Rebirth attacks, you may return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very good. We have the Malakir Blood Witch for 3 colors and double black, 4/4 with flying protection for white. When she enters the battlefield, each opponent loses life equal to the number of vampires you control. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Very good. Also running a Necropolis Regent for 3 colorless and 3 black. 6/5 with flying. Says that whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Very good. Patron of the Vein for 4 colors and double black. 4/4 with flying. Says that when Patron of the Vein enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls. That's pretty good. Whenever a creature and opponent controls dies, exile it and put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Very good. We like this. And last but not least, as far as my creatures go, running Butcher of Malakir for 5 colorless and double black. It's a 5/4 with flying. Says that whenever Butcher of Malakir or another creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Extremely good. We like this guy. Excellent. Those are my creatures. Obviously, the majority of these guys are vampires. The more vampires you have, the more Edgar Markov Eminence trigger goes off. Very good. Looking at instants here, let's take a look. We've got Dark Ritual for a single black. It says you can add 3 black to your mana pool. Really good. Running Chaos Warp, looks like, for 2 colors and a red. Owner of target permanent shuffles it into his or her library, then reveals top card of his or her library. If it's a permanent, he or she puts that card onto the battlefield. Very good. We also have the Crib Swap here for 2 colorless and a white. The spell itself has Changeling, so when you cast this, it's also considered a vampire spell. So Edgar Markov's trigger will go off. You may exile exile target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshift creature token with Changeling. Also running Teferi's Protection for 2 colors and a white. It says until your next turn, your life total can't change and everything, and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out, and then you exile Teferi's Protection. Very good. Those are instants. Looking at sorceries, we have Vindicate here for 1 colorless, a white and a black, and it says destroy target permanent. We like that. We also run New Blood for 2 colors and double black. Says that as an additional cost to cast New Blood, tap and untap vampire control. Oh, we'll have that. Gain control of target creature. Change the text on that creature by replacing all instances of one creature type with vampire. Very good. Also running Kindred Dominance for 5 colors and double black. Says choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type. Very good. We like that, huh? That's it for sorceries. So I have this empty spot here. When my friend gave me back my deck, he did take one card back. It was Mana Vault. He wanted it back, and I don't blame him. It's his card, and he said he wanted to use it for a different deck. So I was like, oh yeah, go right ahead. It's yours. You do what you wish with it. I was just extremely happy to have my deck back. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with this spot right here. But we got our Skull Clamp here for a colorless. It's equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/-1. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards. You can equip for 1. This is good. Running Soul Ring for a colorless. You can tap it to add double colorless mana to your mana pool. Very good. Signet. We got the Boros Signet for 2. Pay 1, tap and add a red and a white to your mana pool. All right. Running Lightning Greaves for 2. Creep creature has haste and shroud. Equips for 0. Very good. Got our Mind Stone here for 2 colorless. You tap to add colors to your mana pool. Pay 1, tap, sack this Mind Stone to draw a card if you need to. Orzhov Signet. Same thing, like the Boros Signet, except you got the white and the black there. Pillar of Origins for 2 colorless. Enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. We're going to be choosing vampire. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. Very good. Got our Rakdos Signet, like the other Signets, except it produces black and red. Very good. Run Sword of the Animist for 2 colorless. Another equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. It says that whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put it in the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle your library. Equips for 2. Very good. We got the Commander Sphere for 3 colorless. You can tap it to add mana of any color in your commander's color identity. You can sacrifice it to draw a card. Pretty good. Chromatic Lantern here for 3 colorless. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. And then Chromatic Lantern can tap to add 1 mana of any color. Pretty good. Dark Steel Ignite for 3 colorless. It's indestructible. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Door of Destinies for 4 colorless. As Door of Destinies enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. We choose Vampire. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on Door of Destinies. Okay. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies. Very good. Last artifact we run in this deck is Eldrazi Monument for 5 colorless. It's an artifact. Creatures you control get +1/+1, have flying and indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. If you can't, you sacrifice Eldrazi Monument. Very good. Let's look at enchantments. Run Curse of Opulence for a red. It's an aura. Curse aura, in fact. You get to enchant a player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a colorless artifact token named Gold. It has sacrificed this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. Very good. We run Intangible Virtue for colorless and a white. It says that creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. This will be very good in this deck. This is one of my favorite cards in Magic. One of my top ones. Reprobation. for a colorless and a white. It's an enchantment aura, and it says enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a coward creature with base power and toughness 0/1. I love this card so much. When it first came out, I just played it in any deck that I could. I love putting this on somebody's commander. And then their commander becomes a coward. Or something big. I don't know. I just love this. I love this coward feature. It is so fun. My play group, when we played this, thought that this was very funny. I mean, because, like, you know, other than that, it's okay. It's just, I thought it brought so much flavor into the game to make some of these really good stuff just a coward. Very good. I love that card. Stanzia Masquerade for 2 colorless and a red. Attacking creatures you control have first strike. Whenever vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's also got a madness cost if you're interested, which could happen, you know. Anointed Procession. This was another card that I believe Jeff had put into this deck, because I don't remember doing this. He said it was quite all right for me to go ahead and keep this, so very nice. It's 3 colors and a white enchantment. If an effect that would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. Very good. Running Cathar's Crusade for 3 colorless and double white. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Very good. Dictate of Erebos for 3 colorless and double black. It's got flash. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Very good. Last one, we got the Sanjuan Bond here for 3 colorless and double black. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Nice. Very good in a vampire deck, right? We run one Planeswalker here, Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord, for 2 colors and black. He's got 4 loyalty when he starts. You can +1 him. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink till end of turn. If it's a vampire, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Very good. You can +1 him to sacrifice a vampire, and when you do, he'll deal 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Very good. You can -3 him. You may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Very good. Very good in this deck. All right. Let's take a look at lands. We have Arid Mesa here. It says that you can tap it, pay 1. You can sacrifice this as your library for a mountain or plains card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. All right. Got the Blood Crypt that you can tap for either black or red. Enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you don't, comes in tapped. Bajuka Bog enters tap. When it does, you exile all cards from target player's graveyard, tap it for black. Nice. Command Tower, you can tap to add mana pool to of any color from your commander's color identity. Concealed Courtyard enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. Taps for either white or black. We have the Dragon Skull Summit. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control swamp or mountain. Tap it for black or red. We have the Godless Shrine. Taps for either white or black. Enters battlefield, you may pay 2. If you don't, enters battlefield tapped. Path of Ancestry enters tapped. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color. Colors or of your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, you get to scry 1. Very good. Sacred Foundry. Tap it for either red or white. Enters battlefield tapped unless you pay 2 life. Very good. Silent Clearing. You can tap it to pay 1 to get a white or a black, or you can tap it, pay 1 life for that, and then pay 1 mana and tap sack to draw a card. Very good. Sunbaked Canyon, same thing, just with red and white instead of white and black. We have the Temple of Silence. Enters the battlefield tap. When it enters the battlefield, you get scry 1. Tap it for white or black. And Temple of the Triumph. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it does, you get scry 1. You can tap it for either red or white. Nice. Rest of my cards in this deck are basic lands. So either mountains, plains, or swamps. So that's my 2019 Edgar Markov deck that was edited by my friend a little bit. I'm very happy to get this deck back. I look forward to editing it to make it a more updated and modern vampire commander deck. If you guys have suggestions on what I can throw in, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked this deck. Maybe it brings back some memories, because a lot of the cards in there are a little bit older, right? I mean, not terribly old, just, you know, a couple years ago. Yeah. So thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Hope you all have a good one. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.